This is what happens when the whole industry lines up to test a kid from Southside Queens who turned 9 bullets into an empire, and finds out one by one why nobody checks a rapper like 50 Cent.
What kind of rich nigga cut his own grass? Why you out there cutting your own grass? You're trying to save money?
We have to start with Ja Rule, because this feud is the one that built 50 Cent before Vitamin Water, before Power, before any of the empire. And by 2018, everybody figured the fire was out. It wasn't. 50 found Ja's concert ticket sitting on a discount site, and he turned a coupon into a weapon.
I bought like the first 4 rows in his concert.
You bought the first 4 rows in this concert?
Yeah, they was like on Groupon for $15. It wasn't a big deal. They was showing me the stuff on there, my sister and stuff, and I said, yo, they put concert tickets in? And I looked and his tickets was there. I was like, how much are the tickets? $15.
So he bought them all, roughly 200 of the closest seats in the building, and guaranteed every single one of them stayed empty. Then the host asked what it looked like when Ja finally walked out under those lights.
I was like, how much are the tickets? $15. I said, okay, give me the first 4 rows.
How many seats is that? That's got to be like 200 seats.
It's still ain't but like $3,000.
So when he came out, there's nobody in the first 4 rows of his concert? You do not want to with you.
He spent his own money, roughly $3,000, purely to embarrass a man on his own stage. That's the check that set the standard. This next man wasn't an innocent bystander in that war either, and he tried to make his move on the biggest night of the year. By 2005, Fat Joe had been aligned with Murder Inc. and taking shots at 50 for 2 straight years. So when the MTV Video Music Awards put the whole industry in one Miami building, Joe grabbed a mic on stage and used his award-presenting time to take a very public dig at 50's gangster image.
I like to tell the people home, I feel so safe tonight with all this police protection courtesy of G-Unit. And the winner is Missy Elliott featuring Sierra and Fat Man Scoop.
50 got to a mic later that same night, and he was not about to let that breathe for even a second.
Fat Joe is man. Boy. You know that is true.
But Joe got off easy that night compared to what came months later, when 50 sat through Joe's brand new album and posted his review as a skit to his own channel.
It's not Joe's record. I listened to it. It hurt me. I don't care. I can't do it. I don't care about the money. I care about the money.
Joe swung at the image and got turned into a punchline on 50's own page. But the coldest checks 50 ran weren't on his enemies at all. They were on the artist he built himself. The game situation was different, because this wasn't 50 going after a rival. This was somebody he rescued. Game came in as Dr. Dre's West Coast signee. His debut stalled, and 50 stepped in and wrote the concepts that turned it platinum. Then Game came back acting like none of it happened, so 50 went on Power 105 and aired all of it.
He came back recently from overseas and was disrespectful, man. Like the way he's like, it's like he's feeling himself, like because of how well his record is selling. You know, so I openly, I wouldn't expose what I did for the project, but I wrote those records. I created the concept for those records and he rapped around it. He's a great rapper. He's not a good songwriter. You know what I mean?
There's a difference.
It's a major difference. You know?
Yeah.
And he says a lot of people's names for shock value. He says things he doesn't mean.
Then, on that same interview, he went ahead and announced the removal live and put Game's whole songwriting reputation on the table while he did it. While that was airing on Power 105, Game was live across town on Hot 97 with Angie Martinez, and a caller broke the news to him in real time.
He said his next album, he ain't doing nothing for you. You gonna sell like 500,000 copies.
That's what he said?
That's what he said.
Wow. What you think about that, man?
Game, don't hurt this cat. Don't hurt this cat, man. This is a clown, man.
Hey,
I'm from Rockaway, Queens, man.
50 cut his own biggest artist loose on the radio and let him find out on a different station. Now, not every check needs a studio and a broadcast. Sometimes it's a random Tuesday, a quiet dinner, and somebody who picks the wrong table to walk up on. June of 2019, 50 was out on a date at a spot in New Jersey, trying to have a normal night, when an up-and-comer named NFL Doom spotted him and decided this was his moment. Doom pushed his music, tried to make 50 scroll his Instagram right there, got told no, and would not let it go.
He just wanted you to see his. He just wanted you to see his Instagram.
Witnesses said what happened next looked less like a fight and more like a movie. 50 grabbed a table, started slinging chairs, and the whole place turned sideways. Nobody got hit, but the message didn't need a punch. Step into the bubble uninvited, and you find the line fast. This next man thought he was on the safe side of a 50 beef, right up until 50 told the world what he'd been doing. French Montana came up the hard way out of the Bronx, and when the mainstream finally called, he was running with Rick Ross and DJ Khaled at the height of Maybach music. That put him dead in the middle of 50's war with Ross. Instead of staying neutral, French quietly went to 50's side and started feeding him information, and 50 did not keep that quiet at all.
And Frenchie, they got me the tape. They got me the tape of his mother's house, where his mom's work at. You know what I'm saying? The other cribs, the studios, stuff like that.
That's the Khaled tape.
Right. Okay. I had all of it. They were staying in Atlanta. All of them locations. Because I ain't taking no L. You trust me. You do something. You go do it live, baby. I'm not even gonna hide it.
On top of exposing the switch, 50 had jokes for the Bugatti French bought and posted all over the internet.
French Montana say that you paid for the star, but once you get nominated, everybody pays for the star. That's what I was always told.
Yeah. But look, I don't know what's wrong with that kid. Like, something's wrong with him. You know what I mean? Like, he puts up.
Eventually, French just waved the whole thing off and explained why he decided to let it die.
How was that over? Because I never quite understood it.
I don't even remember. That's what I'm saying. I don't even remember. But honestly, like, after he dropped that BMF, like I told him, I said me and him ain't got no problems, man. You know, that's my favorite show.
French got exposed as the one who switched sides and still had to be the one to call it quits. But the man he switched on is the most legendary check on this whole list because 50 took him down with a single fact. Rick Ross had spent years building one of the most immaculate drug lord personas hip-hop ever saw. The Boss. Moved weight like a cartel, rapped like he lived every bar. Airtight, aspirational, and the fan base bought all of it. Then 50 found one detail from before the record deal, and it detonated the whole thing.
He can still write a verse, but his verse always has drug dealer references in him. Yeah. When he's admitted to being a correctional officer. Okay. In order to be a correctional officer, you have to not have any criminal history.
Ross eventually addressed the correctional officer situation head-on, and somehow, the explanation only handed 50 more material.
Were you a correctional officer at one point?
I was, yeah.
So going all the way back, when was that? How long ago?
Maybe when I was 20.
20 years old?
Yeah.
What kind of people were in there?
You know, I didn't really get to make it to the prison. Because you got to go through training and all that, and I didn't last long.
And then 50 came right back, because for him, the correctional officer was only the foundation. He went after the Boss image brick by brick.
What kind of rich cut his own grass? Why you out there cutting your own grass? You're trying to save money? You don't want to pay for the lawn to get cut, huh?
Let me ask you.
The AC broken in the...
One resume line, and 50 picked apart a persona that took a decade to build. This next man watched all of that and figured he could beat 50 in a lane. 50 didn't rap in. Business numbers.
I just want to step in because I heard you could shut things down over here, and I just want to make sure what's going on. You know, they owe me some things over. I just want to see what's going on. You can shut down Diplomat projects.
I'm not talking about diplomats. If you really want that?
Nah, that's what I was asking. Can you do it? That's what I'm asking.
What I'm saying to you is, listen, let me explain something to you.
Cameron wasn't just beefing personally. This was about Dipset's money. 50 was in the Hot 97 studio calling Coke Records a graveyard, claiming he could shut projects down there. And that hit Dipset's whole independent operation. So Cam picked up the phone live on air, and he came loaded with valuations, deal figures, and revenue numbers. Cam tried to use Jim Jones selling 300,000 units on Coke as his proof the label worked. 50 flipped that number inside out in one breath.
Well, Lloyd Banks is at 300,000.
Hey, he's doing amazing. Jim is at 300,000.
Right. And that's great for Jimmy, but Jimmy's not, let's look. That's great for Jimmy.
After all of Cam's paperwork and revenue talk, 50 summed up the entire conversation like a man who'd already won it.
Didn't start out bad. This went bad somewhere.
I think that he thinks that he actually is able to compete with me. See, but that's just a mind frame. That's his mindset right now.
Cam even reached for the anger management detail to make 50 look unstable. 50 didn't blink.
You can get angry like that. What's that going to do? It's not going to change anything for me. Which means I'm in control at that point.
Right.
Because I have control over his emotions at this point.
Cam brought numbers and still walked away, proving 50's point. But beating Cam on the radio wasn't the cold part. The cold part was what 50 did to the bond holding Dipset together. While everybody was watching the radio war, 50 was watching Jim Jones. He clocked that Jimmy was finally stepping into his own spotlight and wanted his moment, and he took one shot to pull Cam's closest partner clean out of the camp.
He wanted that. He was watching them be that, like Mace be that and Cam be that, and looked at, and it was finally, he had one. Mm-hmm. And I just looked, and I knew, I just took the shot, Murder, to see, because I wasn't sure he was going to go for it. Mm-hmm. But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. Then you got to watch and see how he responds. And then when you see, he like, oh, he really like that.
Dipset patched things up years later, but truces in rap are fragile. In 2025, when 50's Netflix documentary on Diddy dropped, Jim Jones and his circle went on their podcast and couldn't help taking shots, comparing the whole thing to leaking somebody's private tape.
Is it acceptable for someone to create a documentary about you without your approval? How would you feel if it happened to you?
It's like definitely not acceptable. It's facetious and petty. Right. It's like somebody putting out your tape.
Yeah, if you want to make, yeah, exactly.
It's like
without your permission, and you're not an actual star. And they do it.
The lighting wasn't good or nothing.
Yeah, they're trying to make you just look bad. What? Oh, they caught me on a bad day.
50 didn't record a diss or write a caption. He called the landlord of the building where they record that podcast, and he put a real number on Jimmy's business in public.
Trying to build it, but he won't sign the lease. He's like, I don't like these terms. I want like 6 months of build out and ridiculous bullshit. We also have a partnership agreement where half of what he's building now, his media, belongs to us. But he won't tell us how much he's making and doing all these things. So half of the content he's creating, if you want to buy that too, I'll sell you half the company. He's not a business. He's like insane. To me, it's worth very little to nothing. But if it's out for you, I just throw that in as a sweetener. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is he signed a lease with me. Right now, he owes, I'm going to say in a short way, at least $80,000, if not $180,000.
Then in February of 2026, surveillance footage dropped of Jim Jones physically kicking the door of that same studio, trying to get in. 50, now claiming a piece of the building, posted it and told him to fix every door he kicks. And Jimmy's answer, a tour of the same studio he owed months of rent on, only dug the hole deeper.
Since I'm starting the year off at the top of your Explorer, are you not entertained? Since,
Everybody want to put my business in the street. I might as well talk to you about my business. Right now, I am in the second phase of construction, and we're not open to public. This is a raw space. I have not found out yet what I want to do exactly in this space.
50 answered a documentary shot by reading a man's rent to millions of people. This next one had real tension with him, and it came down to one moment face to face. Meek Mill came up out of Philadelphia as a battle rapper, and that never back down energy was the whole foundation of his brand. So 50 was watching closely when Meek's public situation with Drake played out in 2015. When the two of them finally came face to face, Meek made a choice. 50 said he genuinely did not expect.
People who pick fights with people who don't want to fight, those are punks. Meek Mills, when I ran into him finally, he said, yo, come here, let me talk to you. I need to talk to you like a man on the side, put me to the side. And he was talking and I was looking at him and I wanted to punch him. And I didn't. I just looked at him and I was like, yo, I don't understand why you felt like that. Because he's a battle artist. That's where you come from.
Showing mercy in person didn't stop him from pulling out the scoreboard when Meek and Rick Ross dropped their joint album and the first week numbers came in.
When you sell 31,000 and 9 CDs, I shouldn't talk to you.
How about hey, yeah. I'll swear.
Crazy, big dog.
They don't know him. I keep asking them about these. They don't know these.
He let Meek keep his teeth in private and then read him 31,000 copies in public. But 50 doesn't only aim that energy at the middle of the room, he aims it at the throne. This next name is the biggest one in the building. Running up on Jay-Z in his own city takes a nerve most rappers don't have, and 50 has never been short on it. At the Screamfest show inside Madison Square Garden in 2007, the stage was being set to crown a King of New York, with Jay up there alongside Kanye, T.I., and Diddy. 50 walked out from nowhere and turned the whole moment into his.
King of the South, King of New York, what's happening? Hey, but wait a minute.
Rock is in the building, baby.
You already know. Let these have it.
I said the Rock is in the building.
No cue, no handler. He took laps around the biggest names in the building and made everybody deal with him being there.
You can get down. You can get down. It's all good.
This a real special moment, ain't it?
Come on, you can get something.
This a real special moment, ain't it?
Let's go.
A while later, Jay told an interviewer that nobody was actually scared of 50. 50 sat down and turned that whole statement inside out.
So Jay-Z recently said something crazy about he said nobody's scared of 50 Cent.
I think he would have done that if that was 50 Cent. No one's scared of 50 Cent. I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
I think it was kind of taken out of context a little bit, but what do you think about it?
I don't think it was taken out of context. No, I think the guy who was talking to him made him feel like a punk. You see what I'm saying? So he had to say, yo, nobody scared of 50. Let's get this clear. Nobody is scared of 50.
Then he went exactly where Jay didn't want him to go, laying out a pattern he says runs through Jay's whole history of beefs.
See, he's a piece of work, man. He always put somebody in front of him. When Jada came for him, he put Beanie in front of him. And Beanie went back and forth with Jadakiss. When Cam came for him, he put True Life in front of him. And they went back and forth. And he just didn't compete.
He looked at the most untouchable name in New York and told the world he sends other people to fight for him. That's checking the throne itself. This last one is different from everything before it because it wasn't a check at all. It was a warning. Casanova was not a fake. Brooklyn, real jail time before the deal, real ties, a flow that matched everything he'd actually lived. When he and 50 linked on Get the Strap, it felt like two survivors who understood each other. But 50 was watching how Casanova was still moving in the streets, and he saw the same thing he'd watched take down countless people. So he said it to him directly.
It's a lot. Because the music is so close to the street, Mary, that the street ends up in the music. And like they start to write about what's happening as far as like the drill music is concerned.
And then he said the one line that landed completely different once the federal charges actually came down on Casanova.
Gang culture wasn't as big when I came. because we come from hustlers. I come from people. The financial part of living better is connected to all of the street, all their motivation. Like when you get the gang stuff, it's more, they honor violence. They honor the guy who does more damage. So I'm trying to get a clearer perspective on them because they come to me.
I don't like conspiracy. I don't like the word Rico. Like none of that. So I would tell, actually I was telling Casanova, stay away from that. Stay away from that. But, you know, things still happen.
Every other name on this list got checked. Casanova got warned by the one man who'd already lived the ending everybody else was rapping about. Nobody reads the room like 50 Cent, and nobody checks rappers the way he does, whether it costs them a persona, a partner, or a front row full of empty seats.